Well, my day was just made because Jim Cramer heeded the call.
The judge can't be bought.
That's what you said earlier. I knew you were talking about me. All right. So
I just heard, by the way, Josh is so great. He's got that program that's been advertised, which is so good. And I know the AI ate the software. Ben writes this. It's a really interesting call. And it's a problematic call because my chaplain has a small position in Salesforce. I know that the perception is maybe more important than reality right here. So just put that out.
So I asked you to come down here because, Joe has been buying Apple, again, personally, for the first time in a while. And they've been repeated buys. You've always made the case, own it, don't trade it.
Right.
But, we've had a different environment around the stock over the last year or so. More questions than, I think, answers.
Right.
What do you make of the move that he's done, and how do you think about it?
Well, first of all, I'm telling you
why I'm doing it. Do you know why I'm doing it?
No.
Because think about where everyone was last week positioned. Think about all the growth managers that said, Apple,
And yet
I
it
don't
had
need
an
Apple.
unbelievable week. It was the best in show.
Right. So what do those managers have to do? They have to buy. Think about all the momentum funds.
How about it was up 10 on no volume, and then you normally would give it up, and then it came up 10 on huge volume on Friday. Let me tell you why I think you're right, okay? First, the skepticism is pretty great because we're going to get a ruling from Judge Mehta. Not Meta AI, as Faber told me, Judge Mehta, which may say that, look, Google can't pay him $20 billion. We all know that, but perhaps they can make more money. Maybe they can have others who want that flow. But the thing that I like the most about Apple the whole time, I mean, literally the whole time, is that it's still the best product. I am with Tim Cook. It is still the best product. And until I start seeing people with Samsung, which I still think, by the way, could get a tariff in the end that's high if the president's watching, and he might just say, hey, I heard that. Let's put a tariff on. But I do think that as long as it's the highest quality, I got to stay with it. And I know that seems soporific that you could just say, you know what, they have the best product. But I mean, I was out without my watch for a couple of days. Of course, Apple saw it immediately and said, what is the matter? I had a rash. Well, we've solved that. But I mean, I'm part of the ecosystem. If they fix Siri, even if by Cerence, so just by Cerence AI, if they fix Siri and I can have a conversation with Siri rather than this miserable one-way thing I've got going, and I don't know. I mean, their devices are perfect.
They are, but let me ask you this. Do their devices, if you make an analogy to a beautiful car, do they still have the best engine? Do they still have the best engine, AI, to compete with others who have seemingly driven past them on the highway? And
No, not yet, but
shoulder.
they could write a check, obviously, for this Perplexity, enough already with Perplexity to make the bid for the Google crime. Thank you. Very, very smart. The crime is very smart. But they can develop it. They have the cash if they want to. They could buy Cerence. I had one last night, Cerence AI. Khazanich runs it. They have the best sound. It's in your car. Your car is really good two-way. I think my car tells me what I'm doing, and I tell my car what to do. But I just think that you can't rule them out. It did get cheap. But I just think that Tim negotiated with the president in a brilliant way. $500 billion, no. Okay, $600 billion. I don't even know if you could spend $50 billion over the course of 4 years.
How much of that move that we've seen recently do you think is a direct result of if a détente was needed?
Okay, I'm going to give you what I think it was. And I know I wrote this to my investors in my investing club this weekend. I said, listen, guys, I know no one will believe this, but this was the biggest short squeeze in history. Biggest short squeeze in history. I think that there were people who were size short sellers who realized, oh my God, we didn't get the ruling from Judge Mehta. We just got to deal with the president. I got to cover. There were millions of shares sold short. It was the safest short in the world. There can't be a takeover. It's liquid. I want to put it. There were guys putting it out and putting it out and putting it out. And let me tell you something. They're like 12 furlongs behind.
Hey, I'm not saying that they were shorting it because it's a different conversation.
But we know who they were.
But
they were who we said they were.
I know, but when the biggest of all, when the biggest and greatest of all time has been, consistently selling down the position in Apple. I mean, it makes you sit back and ask some questions about what is really happening for a stock that was universally loved by everybody, and now AI's changed the conversation.
I just think that AI is a check. Look at what happened with Amazon. They decided to go train him. They didn't spend the money. They didn't. And the growth was 17.5%. Azure spent the money. Google Cloud spent the money. I think that Andy Jassy, who's not watching the show, by the way, who's actually working, trying to get us food same day, which I love, would say, you know what? Let's get everybody together. Maybe we are being penny wise and pound foolish, not writing the check to Jensen.
Let me ask you.
You must write the check to Jensen. Don't you have to write the check to Jensen?
Absolutely.
How much did I love her in college? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Me and Bomber. All we were interested in is one person. It's her.
I'm glad you made the.
It's true, and you know that leather jacket. We loved it. It was incredible.
I'm glad you made the segue.
I love your husband too. I'm off course. I'm off course
with the whole family.